Tube. Happy New Year! I am Katie Cat 14 and I am cross stitching in chaos. I wanted to welcome you all to a new year. I'm so excited about cross stitching and the next year that is coming, that is here already. Can you believe it? And I wanted to bring in the new year with some cheer and some whips. I wanted to do a whip parade for you. So this is not a normal floss tube. This is going to be my very first whip parade. And a lot of these projects are going to be projects that you have seen this previous year and that I'm bringing back to show you again because they're not finished. Some of these projects maybe you've never seen at all because they've been stashed in my closet and I need to get them out. So in an effort to have goals this year and to get projects finished this year, I am bringing out all of my projects to go through and to look at so that I can organize WIP Go. I can think about summer camp with the Colorado cross stitcher, and there's several other things that I am involved in again this year, like Sunflower September. I always do Sunflower September, so we're gonna have lots of fun looking at my unfinished projects. I did my best to look each project up and find its designer and maybe where you can get it. I'm not good at remembering things, so I don't often remember designers or floss types that I used, although I mostly use DMC. I'm not real sure what kind of fabric I used on most of it, and that's problematic because I use like bright fabrics a lot. I use non-traditional fabrics, like I don't use country mocha a lot because it's plain. I don't like to use plain colors a lot, but I do use some of it. It can be very beautiful. It's just not what I prefer stitching with. So if you see a fabric you like, you can always comment on my video or try to message me and I'll do my best to look up what fabric it is, but I probably won't mention which fabrics I'm using with which projects. So I have a list. I like lists. Lists are my favorite. I have written down all of my projects that I'm going to show you today. I can't remember how many there were. I thought I wrote it down. Let me count them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 projects for you today, which actually is less than I normally have. So I'm very excited. A few years ago now, wow, time flies. A few years ago now, I did Stitch Mania and I did one project a day for the month of May, in addition to my other projects that I was already doing. So I had January, February, March, April, May, 31. I'm sorry. I actually homeschool my kids and sometimes it's amazing. But we do this all the knuckle trick. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Tells you if it's a knuckle, it's 31 days. And if it's a divot in between your knuckles, it's 30 days. And it's really helpful. Anyway, 31 projects for the month of May is what I did. And it was a lot, and I'm still kind of working off of that. And then every year I find projects that I just can't help but start. So I have a lot of projects, 30, I can't even remember, I'm so sorry. However many I just said is how many projects we'll be going over today. Now I do have projects that are in limbo, and they're probably UFOs, and I'm very sad about them. I have either lost the floss, or lost the project itself, or lost the pattern, and they're not finishable at the moment. But I keep holding them because I'm hoping that they'll be finishable later. So I do have projects like that in my stash. See, the problem is, if you're new to my channel, I am stitching in chaos. I have ADHD, which means I will frequently set things down and not remember them. I have object permanence, which is if it's not where I can see it, it doesn't exist anymore. And there's a lot of things that go along with ADHD. But my children, my 3 boys, also have ADHD, at least one of them for sure. I have a almost 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And they're wild and they're chaotic and they're little boys, and they often like spill things on my projects that I have set down and forgot to put away. So things like this happen. This is why my channel is Stitching in Chaos. And I just wanted to warn everybody, because although that works for me, I know it doesn't work for a lot of people. And if this stresses you out, you may want to look at other things, because I'm going to show you projects that have gotten spilled on that I still need to clean. But I also have success stories. I have fabric that has been spilled on that has been successfully cleaned, and I'm very excited about that. So let's get started with my WIPs. My very first one is my biggest, most active project. Not my biggest, it's my most active project. It is called Steampunk Frog by Hey Lady Creations. So I'm doing this as a model stitcher, and after everything I just told you, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Someone trusted me to stitch a model piece for them. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't watch my YouTube. But it's going really well. I do know the name of this fabric. This is... Sorry, I was looking. This is what the project will look like when it's completed. Let me see. This little frog here. He's super cute. See, he's got these gadgets on his hat and these whirly gigs. He's got his cute little bodysuit and his little frog toes. They're so cute. So I started this when I got the fabric around November, I think. You can look in previous videos. And this is Tea Leaf. It is 16 count by Be Stitch Me Fabrics. And this is my project on it. He is so cute. He's adorable. I have mostly finished his face. There's a few little stitches here and there that aren't finished. But I have started on his hat, and I've gotten pretty far. This is the top of his hat up here. So this is how tall his hat will be, and then his body will be way down here. I don't have my phone with me. I have done a lot of stitches on him. And I'm looking forward to stitching more. I love how he's turning out. So they're full cross stitches. There's no fractionals, there's no back stitching, there's no fancy stitching, there's just crosses in this one. It's just pure cross stitch. And I really like how the colors are blending in together. He looks just amazing. He's got this amazing frog texture. So this one's actually for one of my siblings' children, and this is a surprise. So this will be for whoever they are. This will be for next Christmas, because I'm not going to finish it for birthdays or anything, just next Christmas. So, Steampunk Frog by Hey Lady Creations. I'm going to be stopping in between each project to put them on my clipboard, because I really like how they lay when I show you them on my clipboard. Some of these projects I have pictures, like with this one, I could show you what it looks like. Some of these projects I don't have pictures at all. This is one of those projects that I didn't have a picture of it, mostly because I actually redesigned part of it. So I am doing Pipers and Drummers by Hands On Design. It was part of their 12 Days of Christmas. I'm only doing Pipers and Drummers. It will be a gift for our bagpipe and Scottish drumming teachers. They are a married couple. They've been teaching us bagpipes for a few years now, and my other son, Jackson, my 8-year-old, recently started playing Scottish drums. So I started this project for them for Christmas. I did not get it finished for Christmas. This is January 1. You're probably going to see this January 2. And I didn't get it done. So I actually bought them Scottish wafers, and it came in a really cute tin. It looks like a trolley. It's like a 2-tier trolley tin. It's got people in all the windows. Bagpipes are on the back of the van, the trolley. It was super cute, and they shared the wafers with us, and they were delicious. It's actually Scottish shortbread is what it was. So that's what we did for Christmas. This will be for a gift for later. So this is the drummers part. I ended up redesigning the pipers part because it was actually like a horn, like a trumpet, instead of a pipe. So I did redesign it to be bagpipes. But I'm still working on drummers. This fabric is a mystery fabric. You can see the holes are gigantic. It is about 8 count. So I'm using 4 strands of DMC floss, and I'm following the pattern on Drummers as it's written. So I'm using called for floss and everything. I'm just having to stitch it very, very large, and that's the progress that I got done on this. Again, that was Pipers and Drummers by Hands On Design. I like how it's turning out. I like how the colors show up on this bright red fabric, and I like the big squares are nice. It's frustrating to stitch only because I'm not used to it, but it's easy to see. It's very nice. So, Pipers and Drummers. My next one is Treasure Island. So they have recently finished this mystery stitch along. It was by Owl Forest Embroidery. I have gotten into the habit of saying Owl Forestry, and that is incorrect. It is Owl Forest Embroidery. This one is a wide one, so it won't quite fit on my board. I have been working on this. Probably not as diligently as I should. Obviously, they have finished it, and I've only done parts 1 and 2 and parts of 3. Here it is. Let me just show you. I don't know how to show you. Let's see. Maybe this will work. I can't see it. Alright, so this is Treasure Island by Owl Forest Embroidery. They started this free stitch along. The pattern was free and everything. I love how it's finished. It is beautiful. So they have characters all the way through, and they have a big map in the middle, and then the very bottom is a little treasure chest, and it's super pretty. I am using called for floss. I am running out of this yellow, so I have ordered more yellow. Hopefully we'll get that soon. They recently relocated. They relocated. So they were taking orders over the holidays, but they weren't actually fulfilling orders because they were relocating. They were busy. So we'll see when I get that. I still have enough floss to continue working on it, but I know that it won't last through the whole project, which is why I ordered more. I really like how their floss is variegated. I really like how it looked with the sky and with the sails for the boat. I really liked how it looked. Let me show you again. So, the sky up here. I like how it variegated that. And the boat sails here too. I really like how that looks. I'm not so happy with this treasure chest. It looks a bit lopsided because I came up with some light part of the thread here. But it's okay. No one's going to notice a treasure chest in this entire piece. So, our next project is cardinals. So this project is missing. Where did this project go? There it is. This project came from Amazon as an Amazon kit. I did not purchase it. It was purchased by a child of one of my siblings, and they realized they didn't cross stitch, so they gave it to their parent, and their parents didn't cross stitch either, and then they remembered that I cross stitched, so they sent me the kit and said, "Can you do this for me?" And I was like, "Sure, it's gonna take me forever, just so you know." And they were like, "No problem, no problem." Well, I actually talked to my sibling earlier last year. So weird saying that. And they had all forgotten about it. So no pressure to get it done. It's good. But it is a project that I would like to focus on. This is actually for a sibling of the person that's getting steampunk frogs. So this will work perfectly. This is cardinals. This is one of the ones that I don't have a picture to show you. You probably have seen it in previous cross stitches. The Amazon kit was horrible. So I replaced the fabric with, I think this is Be Stitch Me fabric. I don't know. Shoreline, maybe? Anyway, I replaced it with DMC floss. This is the bird's head. This is the bird's wing, and its tail comes down here. They're cardinals. The bird's beak will come around, like, right here. And then there's a second bird and some, I think they're plumeria flowers. So this is it was a small start, and I think I'm going to work on this in January. We'll see what the month brings. Cardinals. Cardinals Amazon kit. That's what this one was. Alright, the next one is Thy Word. I was hoping to have this finished by Christmas. I did not have this finished by Christmas. I am so put out. I am quite disappointed in myself for not finishing. All of the cross stitches, the X's, they're all finished. It is complete, except it has an awful lot of backstitching, and I can't stand backstitching. I was not able to make myself finish the backstitching. This was my Saturday project, but I can't work on it during church with backstitching because it takes too much concentration and I end up not listening to the sermon, and that's not the point of taking a cross stitch to church. So I'm going to have to really set aside time for backstitching this because it's beautiful. It's for my mother. It was supposed to be for Christmas. I have done some of the backstitching. The words here are finished. This is backstitched. I have backstitched something else. Maybe not. Oh, that's it. Well, so this is still a WIP, and I have to do it because it's late, and she knows it. She knows that it's late. It's beautiful. So this one is by Leisure Art, or Leisure Art. I still don't know how to say it. I have the picture. Excuse me. Sorry. I have the picture of its finished project here. So this is it with the backstitching finished. And this is mine without the backstitching finished. So it'll be absolutely, it's already beautiful, but it'll be just perfect when the backstitching is finished. Alright, my next project is Nativity. So this Nativity, I started Christmas. I was supposed to stitch it for the month of December, so you'll see it in my next floss tube. I did not start it in December. I started it in Christmas. This is from World of Cross Stitching. This is what it is finished. It's going to be 3 panels. They're all connected. You put stiffen board in the back and bend them slightly so that they stand up. And you've got a nice, beautiful stand-up nativity. I don't know if you saw that because of the glare. So this is designed by Jane Henderson. And this is my start on it. I did start this Christmas. I worked on it for like 2 days. So this is where I got. You can see the person standing up there is Joseph. And the blue right next to him is the start of Mary. So I really like how the colors, I knew the colors were vibrant, but seeing it in person is much nicer. I really like it. So I'm going to continue working on that. This is a present for my husband's aunt. She collects nativities. I'm very excited to do that for her. I'm going to send it to her when I get it finished because if I wait for Christmas, bad things will happen. So I'm going to send it to her when I get it finished. I'm super excited. A little organizing here. My next project, oh, that one was Nativity in World of Cross Stitch magazine, I think. My next one is Arctic Arc. Ooh, Arctic Arc. I have a picture of it. This one is by Cross My Heart Ink. This is an older pattern. It's handwritten. It's got a lot of complicated stitching. So this is for advanced, intermediate, probably like what's after intermediate. Probably a little bit after intermediate. It's got a lot of back stitching. It's got a lot of fractional stitches. It's got some blended colors, I think. Maybe that's a different project I was thinking of. I don't know. Pattern's not actually in here. It's just the information for it. So, anyway, This is gonna take me a while. It's bigger than I anticipated. I'm doing it on another Bestitch Me blue. This one is, I can't remember, and the tag's not on it. I like to keep the tags on it if I can. That way I can remember, or at least read the tag. Oh, I forgot to put it on my clipboard real quick. Okay, this is my start. I started on the bottom of the arc, and this big hole is the door, and that outline is the polar bear. So this actually is a lot of stitching. This is like 2,000 stitches. It's a lot of stitches. You wouldn't think it's that many, but it is. So I discovered that I really, really like doing arcs for cross stitch. I really like cross stitching arcs. So some people do like Adam and Eve's. Some people do like Quaker. Some people like black work, but I really like arcs, and I really like seasons. So like summer, spring, winter, fall. I really like stitching seasons. So I'm keeping myself from starting a new arc project until I finished this one. I feel like such a good girl. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to like encourage yourself and give yourself a little pat on the head, because you know, if we can't encourage ourselves, we can't rely on other people to do it for us. So keep your chin up in all this chaos. My next project is Winter Woods. This project scared me. So I picked up this project to work on last month because I want it done. It's Winter Woods. It was beautiful. It was by Satsuma Street. It was a mystery stitch along, and I had so much fun stitching it. I love how they designed it. I love the colors they used. I love the suggested fabrics they had. I just really, really love this piece. But I picked it up to stitch on it, and there was brown crusty stuff all over it. I don't know how that happened. I like to stitch in my bedroom. It's quiet. My kids can be kept out of it. It gives me some sense of relaxing, and the project was kept under my headboard in my bedroom, and I don't know what got spilled on it. I'm afraid it was like hot chocolate or something. I don't know. But needless to say, I was like really unhappy. I was really unhappy that this project got spilled on. I don't have a picture of the finished project. I printed this out before they released part 4, but part 4 is also beautiful. It's still available. Satsuma Street. It's awesome. Do it. if you want. It's really nice. I think probably the hardest part is the borders, because it's hard counting, you know, keeping track of everything, but I think they were really doable. I really enjoyed stitching on this, and I will enjoy continuing to stitch on it because the chocolate came out of it. Look how beautiful. I actually just finished washing it this morning. So my husband took it and spritzed it off and was like, oh, it washed right out, no problem. But when I actually saw the project, it was crusty and firm, and I could still see chocolate stains all over. And they're gone. I used OxyClean Maximum Force, I think, and I sprayed it, let it sit for 5 minutes because hand-dyed fabric. This actually was Mystic by 123 Stitch. I got it from 123 Stitch, and it's 32 count Lugana. And it came right out, and I was so excited. So this was part 1, and I mostly finished it. I'm missing some stars in the sky and some greenery. I think I missed some of the green. This is part 2 that I had started on. It's kind of washed out. My light must be too harsh, but it's beautiful. It's a nice fox, and it's a tree, and some, I don't remember, trees up here maybe? This was my start on part 3 when it got released. My candle is back there. That's what it is. I'm like, what is that spot? So I started on the border because the border was the most challenging part for me, and I wanted to get it done so I could work on the fun stuff in the middle. And then part 4 got released, and I realized that everything was still on. So I have started the border on part 4. It's right here. And it's 3 stitches. It's 3.5 stitches even. Ha! But anyway, It's a wonderful piece. I love it. I love it that I did it hanging up like this. I've never done a vertical piece like this. It'll be a wall hanging when I'm finished with it. It's bound for one of my relatives. I think my mom would appreciate it most. Winter is her favorite season. She loves winter. But there's a few other options that I'm thinking about also. It depends on what happens. So, Satsuma Street Winter. Very fun project to do, and I'm so thankful that it got clean. And it smells good too. OxyClean smells really good. So, I know, that's probably weird. Snow Dragon. I love Snow Dragon. So this one, the pattern got spilled on, but the Snow Dragon is just fine. So, stitching will continue. This is one of the pieces I'm really hoping to finish this year. There's a lady on YouTube. She's called Soulful Stitcher. She does year of finishes. So she says, list out 8 finishes this year. She said, list out 8 projects you want to finish, take pictures of them, post them. And then at the end of the year, if you have finished half of your projects, that would be 4, only 4, then you'll be entered to win a gift card that she's going to choose someone to win. So that was pretty exciting, and I was like, maybe that's the motivation that I need to get some of these WIPs finished. So this one probably will be on my list to go for the Soulful Stitching year of finishes. This one, oh, I didn't show you. Pattern's messed up, but this is what it looks like. So it's a Snow Dragon in a dream catcher, and you can see when I purchased it, it was a Russian designer. I have found it on Etsy now from a few other places. The one that I found most, the one that I found that carries it most is still on Etsy, and their name is Patterns by S.A. Stitch. All one, of course, because it's Etsy. So Patterns by S.A. Stitch carries this. If you look up Snow Dragon Dreamcatcher on Etsy, it'll show up on the searches. So that's what I guess it's just she. I've always thought of that as a he until I said she. I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter, but that's what it looks like. And this is my project on the Snow Dragon. It's opalescent fabric. I don't remember where I got the fabric, but it's kind of hard to see on the video, but you can see it on the fabric, and once it gets backstitched, it'll really pop out there. So I've started, this is the dragon, this is the dragon's horns on the top, and this is part of its body coming down. These are the flowers that it's in. The Dreamcatcher part I haven't started yet, but it's going to be really beautiful. This is one of the ones I really want to finish this year. Dreamcatcher with Snow Dragon, sold by Patterns by S.A. Stitch. Alright, Dinosaur Forest. This one, I think, was my project for December or November. It was recent that I worked on this project. I discovered, again, that I did not have enough floss to finish this. And this is another Owl Forest embroidery design. And I was using Owl Forest embroidery floss, and I ran out of floss again. So I must be ordering the wrong floss. I'm using 16 count, no tag. I'm using 16 count. It's my preferred 16 or 32 count. This one is 32 count. So, this one is my progress. Here's my progress. I don't have a picture of what it will look like when I'm finished, but it's Dinosaur Forest by Owl Forest Embroidery. This one came in the kit, so it wasn't even my fault, and I haven't wasted the floss. I don't just pull floss out and not use it and lose it. I actually keep the floss together. That's why I lose all the floss at once when I lose floss. But anyway, this green that this dinosaur is stitched in is the same green that these leaves are stitched in, and it's the same green that some of the other things are stitched in. So once I finish this dinosaur, I still have other greens, and I have completely run out of this green color. So I have also ordered a new pack of Dinosaur Forest floss, and I'm hoping that it's going to match, because taking this entire dinosaur out is really not going to be fun. There's a lot of stitches in this dinosaur, so I'm hoping that the colors will match up, but I don't know what I did. I did something, because it came in the whole kit, and you would think there would be enough floss to finish the kit, but there wasn't. So, but anyway, I got the volcano mostly stitched out, and that's exciting. I'm looking forward to finishing the orange part on the volcano. I've done these little flowers down here, and finished the parasaur in the middle, and I think this is a T-Rex. Could be an Allosaurus. I don't know. But anyway, it's so pretty, and I'm still very pleased with it. I just have to figure out how to get more of this green floss that will match. Well, I don't have to figure it out. I just have to wait for it to come, I guess. So, Owl Forest. I'm hoping to finish this one this year too, because this is supposed to be for one of my boys. One of my boys. They all love dinosaurs. One of them really loves dinosaurs. So, my next one is Don't Feed the Plants. That's for my other boy. So, one of my boys really loves plants. One of my boys really loves pink and monsters. I don't have a picture of Don't Feed the Plants. I'm not sure why. I should have that picture for you. But I'm sorry, I do not. And it's a really small start, so it's going to be hard to use your imagination. This is my start on Don't Feed the Plants. It's just one little vine tendril here. I'm really big into digital patterns, so most of my patterns and most of my information is kept on my phone, because I have devices that will tell me where my phone is. I can get on my watch and be like, find my phone, or I can get on the computer and be like, find my phone, and it'll start playing and I can figure out where my phone is. I don't have that for patterns. So to avoid losing my patterns, I'm really it's important to me that they are on my phone so that I don't lose them. So most of these patterns are on my phone, and it looks like a small start, and it probably is a small start, but that was like 3 threads, which is probably about 350 stitches. Doesn't look like that much though. Maybe I'm completely off base. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but that's okay. This is my start on Don't Feed the Plants. It's a work in progress, and I'm really hoping to finish this one this year too. That way I can give 2 of my boys their projects. Alright, my next one is Take Me to the Sea. So a lot of you know I lost my father last year. He passed away, frontal temporal dementia. I was with him when he passed away. I was not his main caretaker, but I was, his main caretaker was my mother. I was giving her a break. I would stay up with him at nighttime. We were very close, and it was a huge loss for us when he passed away. I started my floss tube because of him and his memory, and these are the projects I was working on when he passed away. Time heals all wounds. I don't necessarily believe that, but it does make it less painful, and this was my first Christmas without him, and I feel like I am ready to continue working on these projects that I was working on when he passed. These were actually projects in his honor. I knew they would not be for him because he was sick. He, dementia. He passed away. But I do definitely want to finish these in his honor. I'm thinking about giving them to one of my brothers. The whole family took my dad's passing very hard. But I think my brothers took it the hardest. There were 5 of us kids. And I think my brothers had the hardest time with his passing. So I'm going to finish this, Take Me to the Sea, and I'm going to finish the companion piece that's coming up next, and I'm going to probably frame them and give them to my brothers, just as a reminder, when they see boats. My dad loved boats. He loved anything mechanical that he could study, so trains and boats, he loved. So This is what Take Me to the Sea looks like. It's from Just Cross Stitch, and I don't know who the designer is. Probably says in here somewhere. I'm doing it on Adventurine Bestitch Me fabric. I do know what fabric it is because I had to figure out how to spell it for a couple times. So this is Intermediate Level by Doreen Jones of Doreen J. Cross Stitch. So that's the designer. This is my progress. So it was on my WIP Go board last year, and my goal was to finish the border, and I did finish the border. So I got my goal for last year. This is probably one of the ones I want to finish. I don't know. There's a lot of cross stitching in there, so we'll see how it goes. It's a pretty small one. Fits on the clipboard, so it's paper size, almost a little smaller than paper size. I really, I'll just show you the next one. So the next one is Maritime Sampler. And it has the tag on it. This is Rainy Day Fabric by Bestitch Me. So they're both Bestitch Me. This one's a bit bigger than the other one. This is what it will look like when it's finished, except I'm not doing the alphabet on the top. I'm going to put words there instead of the alphabet. But this green water, here's them together. So I wanted to make them match because I wanted to do them as companion pieces. You can see this is from Country Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. I wanted to make them match a little more because I really liked both of them and I wanted to do them as companion pieces. So I did this piece on Adventurine, and it's a little bit greener. And I did the Maritime sampler. I'll just put it right over top. I did the Maritime sampler on a blue fabric to kind of match Take Me to the Sea a little bit better. So this one is larger. Here's where the clipboard ends, so it's a couple inches larger. My goal was also to finish the border on this, but it was a joint goal with the other one. My dad didn't make it through the border, and I couldn't stitch on this after that. So my goal for this, hopefully, will be to finish the border, and it's actually really difficult. So there's a bunch of fractional stitches in the knots. I did change the color of this blue because it was blending in too much with the fabric. So I made it a little bit brighter, but there's a lot of fractional stitches in this rope. And it was actually really difficult. And there's backstitching all over, and I hate backstitching, but I want to get the border finished and start on the green of the sea here. So hopefully we get that done. Maritime sampler and Take Me to the Sea. This way. Wow, it's like a tiny little thing compared to this. Anyway, so our next project, my next project. Oh, Dark Queen of the Earth. So this is another companion piece project. Dark Queen of the Sea is its companion piece. It's a mystery stitch along that has passed. Dark Queen of the Earth was a mystery stitch along that took last year. Something came up and I stopped stitching on her, but I don't think it was this problem. I was not a fan of the face that they did, so I took an unused face that they released to the people that signed up for the stitch along, and I redid her, and I made my own face. So this is mostly their design, but I tweaked it, and I fixed the hair, and I did the little tear crown in the middle, and I changed the colors on her flower back here. They were bright yellow to kind of match this, but I changed the colors on her flower, and because of that, I changed the colors on some of the flowers down here to kind of match her face, so that they all kind of went together. I finished the bow over the top of her. I finished her arms and her vines. I was starting to work on the feet and the legs. Right here, you can see this is where I stopped. There's a few other adjustments that I made. So I did a couple bugs. Where are my bugs? They're on this side. So these are ladybugs right there and right there. And I put in some corpse beetles. They're carrion beetles. Right there. We have them in Alaska. I saw them one day and I thought they were beautiful, so I put that one in there. I would like to put a shoe bill here, but I want to finish the rest of her. Oh, sorry, the shoe bill here. There's more room here. But I wanted to finish the rest of the area to make sure that I had enough space to work in. There's nothing wrong with her. I didn't lose anything. Nothing got spilled on it. I just started working on different projects. She's beautiful, and I want to finish her. So we'll see what the year brings. I keep saying that, but it's true. We really don't know. So this was Dark Queen of the Earth, and I didn't say who it was by. Oh, maybe I did. This one was by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Autumn Lane Stitchery. He is going to release more in the future. He's hoping to do an air one. He actually was going to do the air one this time, but something happened. He couldn't get a design right, and he really wanted to get the design correct. They're very particular with their designs, and they have a very strong image of what it should look like in their head, and they want to make sure that it translates correctly to the fabric. And they're very diligent in trying to make sure that happens, which is understandable. They take pride in their work. It's a very good thing. But he put the air on hold so that he could work on the earth one, because he knew that the earth one would come out better than the air one was at that time. So again, he had previously done a water one, and I have a tiny, tiny start. This is a fish. So she's a gorgeous elemental, I guess. She's got fish swimming through, like, around her abdomen area, so her hips and her waist will be here. And then she spreads out, and it turns out she's a giant octopus. She's got tentacles, and the back stitching is beautiful. It's so intricate. I wanted to do all the back stitching, but I'm very, very bad at back stitching. Like, I'm really bad at doing it. I'm not bad at back stitching. I'm bad at making myself do the back stitching. So I don't know if I will actually do all of the back stitching on her tentacles when I get to it, but it'll be a while. It was a year-long stitch along, and I have a lot of other projects I'm working on, so there's no hurry to finish this. I have the stuff, and when I want to, I'll stitch on it, and when I'm doing other projects, she can sit there and look pretty. So my next one is Starry Night. This actually was purchased on Amazon. So my husband purchased this for me because I told him that I would like an easy project to work on. And so he picked Starry Night by Van Gogh. This is not an easy project to work on. Lots and lots of colors. Lots of color changes, lots of confetti, which is just like colors here and there with no other same color around them. But it is beautiful. It was on my wish list, so it was not completely his fault because I still did want it. I looked it up on Amazon, and it said it was by Orenco Originals. I don't know how to pronounce that. Orenco Originals. So that's the history of this one. I do have a picture of it. Ooh, Starry Night by Van Gogh. It's quite a large one. Not large. It's not a large one. It's an intricate one. It's a detailed one. If you look, there's an awful lot of detail in this picture. So I actually started on this side. Sorry, my voice gets all gravelly. I need water. So I have worked on the border here, and I've worked on the middle corner and the spire. The spire is a lot of one color. It's not all one color. you can see there's a lot of not one color. But this is my progress on that Starry Night. Every time I see this, I'm going to think of my husband. So, Starry Night. And it was from Amazon. There. Alright, my next project. We are probably about halfway through. Not bad. Thank you for staying with me. Oh, my next project is actually Sephiroth, and I can't find it. So this was another Etsy purchase. I have showed you this previously. It's here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. Let me pause the video real quick, and I'm going to see if I can't scrounge that out, because I know it's here somewhere. So just one moment. I will be right back. All right, I am back. I have gotten a drink of water, and I found my Sephiroth. So Sephiroth is actually a Final Fantasy VII video game character. He is one of my favorite characters. He's the bad guy, and this one I got on Etsy by Needle Minder Layer, L-A-I-R. Needle Minder, I'll get it right. Needle Minder Layer. So, this is my beginning part of Sephiroth. This is his hair. He's got really long, flowy, silvery hair. This whole thing is like black and dark brown. This is a lot of stitching. I don't remember what count I'm using, but I know I'm using like DMC fabric. It's Ada. I think this is 18 count. Looks like it. So, this is a project for me. And if you've been with me for a while, if you've seen my previous floss tubes, I really enjoy stitching for other people. I enjoy stitching as gifts. I enjoy stitching as surprises. And I enjoy making my cross stitches into fun things for them. So my projects mostly get like put to the side. And this is a really large project. I'm going to have to stitch on this for several years, and several years more if I continue not stitching on it. If I stitch on other projects instead of it, which is fine. I do what I enjoy. When I'm ready, this way, when I'm ready, I'll get back to it. So this is my Sephiroth project. He is a work in project. All right. My next project is ballet slippers. This is for one of our church members. Here it is. This one, let me see if I can find, I do not have a picture of it. They are ballet slippers. They're really, it's a large project. They are by Light Unicorn Designs on Etsy. I like Etsy. Light Unicorn Designs on Etsy. The reason I'm stitching this from one of my church members, one of my friends, is because her daughters take ballet. They take dance, and they're very good at dance. And her oldest daughter has stopped taking dance in favor of other things, but it's a very special memory that they will have the rest of their life, and I wanted to stitch them these slippers. You can see the outline of the slippers. It's kind of like a watercolor. It's the color in the shoes kind of spread out, and it's really pretty. So this will be really, really fun to get back to, and I don't think I've shown this on YouTube before. I don't think so. So I started this project early last year, and I put it aside and haven't worked on it. But I'm excited to get back to it if this is one of the ones that I choose out of all of my projects to work on. So this year my goal really is to get finishes. I want to finish a lot of these projects that I have because I need the floss back. I have a lot of floss in these projects that I could be using in other projects. And I know that's probably a silly reason, but it's true. This takes a lot of floss. and you don't use all of the floss in each project. All of these are full of flosses for my projects, and I want to kind of thin down my WIP pile, and so I'm looking forward to having more finishes this year. Let's see, 2 years ago, in 2022, I got 11 finishes. Last year, I got 8. But also, my tastes and preferences have changed. So I used to prefer doing smaller cross-stitch projects. And as you can see, now I'm doing medium to large projects. Not gigantic, I'm not doing Hades, but I am doing like bigger projects than I used to, so it will take me longer to have finishes, obviously. The next one is City Girls by Bothy. I don't know how to pronounce it. I heard someone say Bothy on YouTube, but I've also heard Bothy, and I actually used to say Boothy, which is completely wrong, but this is by them. So I'm gonna say Bothy because it's a good kind of, no. I was gonna say Bothy because it was a middle ground, but I called it Bothy, didn't I? So I apologize. Eventually I'll learn how to pronounce all of these properly, but this was City Girls. This is how it's gonna look. I was gonna do this for my auntie. She really loves, like, I know this is US, but she loves Paris. She loves traveling. She loves being chic and stylish. So this was gonna be for her because it reminded me of her. And actually my cousins. It reminds me of my cousins too, and they probably got it from her. So this is, I have a small start on this. I started on the houses in the background. Gotta figure out which way I started. I don't know which way is up and which way is down. I'm sorry. I think this way is up. Let's do it this way. So this was a really, really small start. I worked on it as a token because I wanted to start it, and I thought, if I start it, I'm gonna work on it, right? Maybe I'll start it and discover that I love stitching and I won't put it down until it's done. But that didn't happen. So this is a really small start on this project, but it is a start. So these are the houses that are on the side by the bag, right here. And I do think I put it the right way, so that's good. So this came in a kit. I'm using all kit material, kit fabric, kit everything. So I am actually working on another kit project by the same people. This is Dream Birds. The pattern got a little smudge on it. Lots of back stitching in that one. Sorry, I'm shaking. I don't know. Lots of back stitching, but I love birds. I'm part of the Birders Club here in the Matsu Valley. I used to be the vice president, but I got busy and couldn't do it, and so I am really happy someone else took over. They're doing a great job. But I wanted to cross stitch some birds. I thought that would be really fun to do. I put this down because someone spilled something on it, and it discouraged me. I get discouraged pretty easily when it comes to cross stitching if something doesn't go right, if I have to frog a whole bunch, if something gets spilled on it, if you know, whatever, if something happens, I get discouraged and put them in a timeout. This one has pink all over it. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see here. Down here, see this pink? It's not supposed to be there. This pink is not supposed to be there. So that discouraged me. There's some pink up here, right here, and I think there's some pink right there. Maybe not, can't see. But I did get a lot done. It's called Dream Bird, and it's beautiful. And I want to keep stitching on it, so I haven't given up on it. And with that OxyClean working so well on that chocolate project, I'm hoping it'll clean this up. So I will clean it and wash it and see if that OxyClean gets it out. This is a kit fabric and kit everything. I don't think this is hand-dyed fabric, so I might let it sit for longer to see if it'll get all that out. And if it does, I'm going to be super excited. I'm going to be super, super excited to keep working on this project. Oh man. So this one is from a cross stitch magazine, and I was going to look up what it was for so that you guys could know, and I don't remember. I started this, it's upside down. I started this November or October, and I worked on it for that month, and I got a lot of progress. It's a set of 3 houses. It's from either Just Cross Stitch magazine or the World of Cross Stitch, and likely it's probably Just Cross Stitch because I get a subscription to that. I don't have a subscription to World of Cross Stitch. I just buy it at Joann's when I see something I like in it. It's called something like Home for the Holidays. It's called something like that. I'm so sorry. I did mean to look that up for you, and I just didn't. I didn't look this up. But this is the start on the middle house. There's 3 houses in a row here, and I did pretty good. Got a good fair bit of progress. This is for my sister. She collects houses. She collects house ornaments. My parents always got us ornaments every Christmas. We got a special ornament. I got a bear-themed ornament, which actually my mom gave me a bear-themed ornament this year. It's the first time in years. It made me smile. It was a little pirate lady. But my sister always got Victorian house ornaments, and she loves them. She loves getting Victorian house ornaments, so I was going to do her a house cross-stitch just for fun. So she's very easy for me to find projects that I want to cross-stitch for her. She likes a lot of things, and so there's a lot of things to cross-stitch for her. My next project is a really old project. I started it when I was like 17. This is what it is. It's a Janlin project. And it's a dream catcher. And it's got a beautiful saying on it. It says, "Kindness has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect." Chief Seattle. So it was a beautiful dream catcher, and I love Native American things. I love Native American culture. I have Native American heritage in me. Although it's really hard to see that because a lot of my heritage is Scandinavian, and so it's really hard to see my Native American heritage. My sister actually got a lot more Native American look in her than I did, and I was always jealous of her about that. But I started this when I was 17 because I love it. It just speaks to me. I love the dream catcher especially. I love the saying. So we moved to Alaska when I was 17, and this was in the move. And I was like, we're gonna take it. This is in the move. And then when we got here, all of the parts for it got lost. I couldn't find the fabric. And then I did find the fabric, and I couldn't find the floss, and I kept the pattern. This is why I keep things that I have lost things for, because I kept the pattern for this, and then I couldn't find the fabric again. So all I had was this little dinky pattern, and I thought if all else fails, I can get new floss and new fabric, and I can start all over. But I didn't really want to because I had so much finished. And then earlier this year, my mom and I were going through her hope chest, and she found it. She found the floss and the fabric together in her hope chest, and it had been there for years, for like 12 years. It was in her hope chest, maybe even 13 or 14. I don't know. It was a very long time, and I was over the moon excited. I was so excited. I was in the middle of a whole bunch of other projects, so I didn't get back to it yet, but I have it. And it's so beautiful, and it still speaks to me, and I love it so much. I love the vibrant colors. I love it so much. I love how the hoop for the dream catcher is so dynamic in its shading. The feathers, it's just gorgeous. I'm so excited. So this went straight back into my WIP pile, and when I have time to stitch for me, this will be mine. I will be able to continue stitching on this. I was never so pleased to find a lost cross stitch than this one. This one was started with my dad. He's the one that taught me how to cross stitch. He was like a jack of all trades, and he did everything. He did oil painting, and he did woodworking, and he did crocheting and needlework, and he did cross stitch. And so it's sentimental. It's one of my favorite subjects. I'm so happy. So that is one of my WIPs. This one was also one that was lost, but that's why I forgot to finish my thought. That's why I never throw away anything, or if I can't find the floss for a project, I don't chuck the project out, because you never know. Maybe like 18 years later, you'll find the stuff that you need, and it'll make you so happy. So this one is another one. I didn't start this when I was 17. I started it. It's been a while. And maybe it was like 20. It's been a while. I'm not 20 anymore. But this is the Kitchen Witch's Household Magic Tricks. And I know that because that's what this said. And this one was one of the ones that I had lost. And I did not find it, but I did have the pattern, and I had so much progress done. I was just actually going to, like, chuck this one, because when I started it, I thought it was really funny. And when I found it again, it's not bad. I just didn't think it was as funny. But I have a friend who really, really loves it. They're like, that's hilarious. I love it so much. So what I did was I ordered a new one. It's out of print, from Creative Expressions. But ew, what was that? I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, so I ordered a new kit. It came in a kit. I found it on eBay, and I'm super excited. The colors look like they're gonna match up with what I already have stitched. I didn't need the pattern, and so when I'm finished, I can just pack it up and move it out, because I already have this entire first part stitched, and her face is all stitched. So I only have this side and the lettering, which shouldn't take much floss, so I should be able to pack it up and ship it out to someone else to do. We'll see how much is left. We'll see how it goes. It's my favorite thing to say this year, so we'll see how it goes. No promises. Anyway, it's super cute. So it actually is hilarious. So there are 8 rules, or 8 magic tricks, as I should say. Keep the drain plugged while bathing the hamsters. It's very important. 2, the cactus needs light dusting only. 3, answer the phone, but never the door, straight out of the shower. It's good advice. 4, keep the, what is that? I can't read. Oh, keep the vinegar bottle in the wine, sorry, made me laugh. Don't keep the vinegar bottle in the wine rack. I don't drink wine, but that's really funny. 5, hard-boiled eggs don't fry well. 6, thunder and lightning means bring the wash in off the line. 7, bubble bath never works in washing machines or dishwashers. And as a mother of 3 boys, that's very true. Doesn't work. And 8, keep your chin up so you don't notice the soup spilled on your blouse. See, it's really, really cute. But it's probably not something that I would put up anymore. And I didn't know anyone else that would like Kitchen Witch tricks. So, but I found a friend that really likes it. So I'm excited. I will keep working on it, and I will give it to them. So, really cute. Really cute pattern. Really cute sayings. And now I get to turn the page. Next, you have seen this one. This is Vase with Flowers. I have a picture. This is really funny. So last year I got this out. I worked on it for WIPGO. I worked on this one before I really believed that you should keep all your stitches going the same direction. So this is really kind of sloppy, and all the stitches are going whatever way I felt like it at the time. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And I discovered that I started the project horizontally instead of starting it on the fabric vertically, but I measured it and I still do have room to finish it. This is still in my WIPs. It's a really beautiful pattern. So this is Vase with Flowers. It was produced by the Historical Society, actually. Famous painting. Came in a kit. I found it at a thrift store. Oh, I'm sorry. The Fine Arts Heritage Society, not historical. The Fine Arts Heritage Society. So this is what it's hopefully going to look like when it's finished, but it won't be, it won't be very smooth because I started it before I admitted that I had to. The reason I did that is because I figured it didn't make any difference whether it laid neat on the fabric or not, and it does. And I also figured if you crisscross it however you feel like it, you can save that much more floss when you're stitching because you don't have to nick it over to the other side. You can just put it right next to it because you don't care how it lays. Well, I've learned people grow, they change, and they mature, and I have learned. But anyway, this is a lot of progress. The bottom was almost completely finished on this side. I've gotten some branches done and flowers done, but again, I get discouraged easily, and because I discovered my error and admitted it to myself, I didn't want to stitch on it. It's disheartening. It's frustrating to know that you did all this work and you should have done it differently. But I do still want to finish it. I just have to, buck up. I have to buck up. That's what I have to do. Lots of, not necessarily confetti stitches, but lots of popcorn stitches. There's lots of different colors in this one. It's so beautiful. I love the gradient work in it. I love how the shadow plays on the table. I love how the flowers all look. I love the carnations, I think they are. So this is still in my WIPs. It's still in my WIPs. I haven't given up on it or put it in the I'm not working on this pile. I tried to look up other Heritage Society cross stitches, and they did make a few others, but they are all out of print. And the Heritage Society is no longer a thing, I guess. Not for cross stitching anyway. So, it was really neat to find. My next one is Thomas Kincaid. Speaking of famous artists, so this one, again, if you don't like to see fabric messed up, you may want to turn your eyes. I have no idea how this happened. This was in its project bag. It has been stored very carefully in the project bag. I worked on it this last year, pulled it out, it was active, I made progress, it was awesome, I worked on the rocks. I don't have a picture. It's a Thomas Kincaid lighthouse. Something got spilled on it. I think what happened was it was in its project bag, and I had the paper pattern in with it because it was before, what's the name? The phone thing with the patterns. Pattern Keeper. Ha! It was before Pattern Keeper really became popular. And so it was a paper pattern, and I had highlighted the copy pattern that the working copy that I made. I had highlighted it, and what I think happened was some water got spilled and it seeped through the project bag, and the highlighter got washed out into my project. I'm so discouraged. Discouraged doesn't even cut it. I'm heartbroken about this. Here it is. You see all this damage? It's so sad. All of this. And it's not just that corner. It's on all of the corners because the project was folded. It's on all of the corners. I don't know how to get that out. And I'm so discouraged. Again, with my success using OxyClean on the other patterns, the chocolate, I'm going to try, I'm calling it chocolate, I don't know what it was, I'm hoping it was chocolate. I'm going to try OxyClean on this to see if we can get it out. Look at all that stitching. Look at it. It's so much stitching, and it was beautiful, and I love this project so much. Thomas Kincaid was an amazing artist. I loved working on this. I loved the colors and how they work together. I loved the clouds in the sky, and I was looking forward to doing the house and the garden path. I'm so discouraged. It makes you want to cry. But it's still in my WIPs because I'm desperately hoping to clean it up. I'm desperately hoping to clean it up. If this is ruined completely, I'm gonna cry. See, the problem was it was folded like this, and this whole side got hit, and that means all 4 corners got hit also. The thing is, there's some hope. There really is. There is hope, because if I can get this part looking clean, I don't care if this is white or not. The white can like just burn, I don't know. But if I can get this, the stitching looking clean, then when we frame it, we can frame it tight. We can frame it right up there, put no border on it whatsoever. It's a full coverage piece. And that's what I'm hoping for. I am hoping to get the stains out of the corners of the pieces just on the stitching itself. So wish me luck, because I want this piece fixed so bad. It's such a beautiful, beautiful piece. And it wasn't my fault. At least I don't think it was. Anyway, so we are not ending on this note. We are not. We are going to go to different projects. This is the most messed up one that I have, and I apologize. I apologize for showing you that sadness, but it's part of cross stitching. Sometimes this happens, and when you're stitching in chaos, when you have young children in the home, when you have ADHD and forget where things are, things like this are going to happen, and you just kind of have to shake your head, and you know, we'll get over it. We will get over it. It is not a big deal in the long run, and hopefully we can get it cleaned up and everything will be fine anyway. So the next project, I have a picture. I can't find the floss, to be honest, but it was not a big start anyway. And I can replace the floss. That is not a big deal. It will not be a big deal if I get a different dye lot on this floss. What I think I did is I think I kitted this up in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag, and I think I didn't put what project the floss was for in the bag. So the floss may have gotten put back into something else, which is not a big deal. I did not have a big start. This is Along Memory Lane by Gloria and Pat. Yes, Gloria and Pat, and I started the ski village right here. This was given to me along with a few other books by a good friend, and she really wanted me to stitch something. Unfortunately, I have an odd style for most cross stitchers. I don't appreciate stitching myself. I love seeing everyone else do it, but I don't appreciate myself stitching like samplers and Quakers and things like that. And most of what she gave me was that, and she really wanted to see me stitch something that she gave me. This one, I like this one. I like the winter, I like the house, the Christmas tree, the boardwalk is super fun. I might even do the companion piece because the fishing village is super cute too. So I did start this one. Again, I didn't get very far. So this one actually was, I watched them every YouTube. Every time they put a floss tube out, I watched them. They are from Australia. They're super funny. They have dogs. They love cryptids. Their names are... It'll come to me. Just one moment. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. you probably know who I'm talking about. They have a fabric line now, and they're all sorts of busy dyeing fabric all the time. She just had surgery on her legs. I think it was her knees. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, Fox and Rabbit. Yes, I got it. They're Fox and Rabbit. So this is Fox and Rabbit fabric. This is their boar bristle, I think. I was super excited to try their fabrics because I love watching them on YouTube and I wanted to support them, and so I bought a whole bunch of their boar bristles. So this is what I started. I've got part of the boardwalk and I've got part of the tree, and you can see if I have to replace the floss on this, it won't be a big deal. So the boardwalk is kind of strange. So the way the pattern instructs you to do the boardwalk is they're 10 stitches, but each layer is going the opposite direction. So bemoaning of a project just a few projects ago that I had going opposite directions, and now I'm actually following a pattern that tells me to do that. Just like, really? But it does. So the boardwalk, like the first one is like from right to left, the second one is a 10 stitch from left to right, and the third one, see, it goes like that all the way down. And I think this is on purpose to give it texture to the boardwalk. I mean, like, to make it look unique instead of having to do all sorts of other fancy things to it, like blend it or put different colors. I don't know. But that's what the instructions said to do, so that's been interesting because I've been avoiding that for years now, and now I'm doing it on purpose. I don't know. If someone could explain it, that would be great. But I like to follow instructions, so that's what I'm doing. Again, this is Ski Village by Gloria and Pat, along memory lane. There it is. We are almost finished. We are coming up to the end. This one is a project for my husband that he doesn't know about, but he will now. Surprise, honey! He edits my videos. He does a very good job. And he might actually not edit this one because I'm just doing a WIP Parade. But this is what it is. It is, after all else fails, follow instructions. And you might think this is super funny because I'm giving it to my husband, but that's actually not why it's funny. He works in tech support. He's worked in tech support for like 13 years, and now he's the head of the Department of Tech Support Operations. Well, he's not the head. He is in the head department of tech support that oversees tech support's other employees. Like, he makes sure that they're telling people the correct information and that if something happens, he can take care of it. So he's not a supervisor. I forget what he just says tech support operations. But anyway, the point is, it's super funny because he's been dealing with this for a long time now. For like, what did I say, 13 years? He's been dealing with it. So if all else fails, follow instructions. This one is from a magazine, an older magazine. There it is. It's from the Cross Stitcher magazine. Here it is. The Cross Stitcher magazine. There's a few patterns in this magazine that I would like to do, but this is my WIP. I didn't follow the colors, and I couldn't tell you what fabric I'm using. When all else fails is all I have. The thing is, I started the question marks. I thought they would pop if I used this silky floss that I found. It is a mess. Sorry, this is the floss. It is DMC floss S762. It's a really shiny, silky, smooth floss. And when I started this, I couldn't make up my mind which way I wanted to backstitch it. Did I want to backstitch each square, or did I want to like tent stitch it? No, pin stitch it. I think that's what it's called, pin stitching, where you make the long stitches and then just pin it with a tiny little stitch in the middle. So I couldn't figure out which way I wanted to do it, so I did it both ways, sort of. I did one way and a half of the other way to figure out which one I like best. And then I discovered that I like it both ways, and I wanted to switch it this way and then that way and then this way and then that way. But I hate back stitching. Like I shoot myself in the foot every time I have a project that requires heavy back stitching. If you will look, these question marks completely surround the words. The words are not the problem. The words are cross-stitched. The question marks are all back stitched. And so I got 1.5 done. I got 1.5 done and gave up. And it was so discouraging. And not to make things worse, but that floss is really hard to work with. It's super silky. It doesn't like staying in. That floss is not my friend. It isn't. But I do want to finish this because it is for my husband and I haven't ever stitched him anything. And he would appreciate this one especially. So, when I get the courage to do the back stitching, I am going to work on this project. Hopefully I'll get it done this next year. This next year is the year of finishes. These are my goals. Buffalo cactus sampler. This one was a really fun one. I forget that I put them all in my bucket right here. Alright, so this one I got, it's a Native American theme, but it is not specifically made, I guess it's not specifically, it's more like a Southwest theme. And the reason I think of Native Americans in conjunction with the Southwest is because I grew up there and I went to the Cowboy Hall of Fame, which has a lot of Native American history in it and a lot of culture. I grew up next to a reservation. I have Native American friends. Technically, that was wrong. I did not grow up next to, I had to think about it. I'm sorry. I froze for a minute. I did not grow up next to a reservation. So I have lived in, by the time I was 21, I had lived in 23 houses. So it's been less moving since I've been in Alaska. But we used to move like once every 2 to 3 years. And sometimes it was more, and sometimes it was less. But by the time I was 21, I had lived in 23 houses. My dad was a pastor, and we lived in the same state, but we moved around a lot. The reason I said I grew up next to a reservation is because our summer camp that we worked at a lot was next to a reservation. It is in Wowoka Woods, which is next to Seminole, and I have a lot of Native American friends from there. I had to explain that because it was weird. But anyway, that's why I equate Native American things with the Southwest, is because that's where I grew up. So this one is from Etsy. So this is called Adventurer Border with Bison and saguaro. Saguaro? The G is silent. Saguaro Cactus Desert. So what it was a choose your own adventure. So you could choose which border you want. You could have a single border or a double border. I chose a double border, which is a border like this with a border like this right next to each other. And then I chose the bison, and then for the next one, I chose the cactus. So I did start on this, obviously. It's in my WIP Parade. This was the border, and this is the bison. I don't have a picture, so you're going to have to use your imagination. This is the back foot of the bison. The bison is facing this way, and the border stops here. We'll go up like this and all the way around. It's got a lot of Southwest kind of influence in its design. And then there's a cactus that will be on this side. I'm using fancy floss that I just had like laying around. I don't have it with me, but you can see it's all variegated, it's all hand dyed, and it's so pretty. But again, this is a project for myself, so it hasn't gotten much love, not much love, but it's really pretty. And when I want to stitch something for myself, I will get this out and continue stitching on it. My last one, we are down to the very last one. This one is Mother of Three, and as you can imagine, it's also for myself. This was a custom order from Etsy. So she has this lady, she's called she's got a strange name, I'm sorry. Punt AGO Petite Pattern. So PUNTAGO PETITE PATTERN. So Punt a Go Petite Pattern. She's got a lot of different designs that she's done herself of the back of a mother holding children. She's got a mother holding girl children and boy children and a mix of girl and boy children. She's got a father holding the children. She's got toddlers and older children. So I messaged her because she actually did not have 3 boys. And I had 3 boys. And I was like, can you make this mother of 3 with 3 boys? And she said yes. And she took my request and she took some information like hair color and stuff, and she sold me the pattern. So this is what I started with. I don't have a picture of it, but this is the back of the mother. She's got a baby on her shoulder, which will be my 2-year-old now, and then she's got 2 boys standing next to her here. This is on opal fabric. I got it from a stitchy box. The stitchy box that I did an unboxing for earlier, that box. So I don't know what kind of fabric it is, but it's opal. It's 24 count. That's not 16 count. It's probably 24 count. And it's opalescent. And again, this is so when I am ready to stitch for myself, I have this project. And that's the end. You've made it. Thank you so much for staying with me for all of my projects. You guys are troopers, and I really appreciate you. I hope you're having the best New Year's ever. Be safe. And when life gets crazy, when you have bad things happen, just remember life is chaotic, and you gotta keep your chin up in all this chaos. I hope to see you next time. My floss tube will be coming out shortly, hopefully in a day or 2. And Happy New Year. We'll see you later. Bye.